U.S. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook will file a lawsuit to prevent President Donald Trump from firing her. That's according to a statement by her lawyer on Tuesday. It kicks off what could be a long legal fight over the White House's effort to shape U.S. monetary policy. Trump said he would fire Cook, the first black woman to serve on the Fed's governing body, over claims of mortgage borrowing impropriety, adding on Tuesday that he already has someone in mind to replace her.
I think we have some very good people. We're down to, I think I maybe in my own mind have somebody that I like.
Cook says Trump does not have the authority to fire her and has vowed to stay on the job.
I think we're just going to see more of this.
Berenberg economist Atakan Bakaskan says Trump's actions could test the boundaries of presidential power.
Right now, there's 3 Trump appointees in the governors. There's like Bowman, Waller, and now Miron. And there's 7 people at the board. And now if Lisa Cook loses her job, then there'll be a 4th person, and Trump will have a majority. So these are just really like the first chess moves in attempt for a greater, really political interference.
Trump's showdown with the central bank is his latest effort to bring more elements of the U.S. government under his direct control.
Well, we call him too late for a reason. He should have cut him a year ago. He's too late.
In recent months, Trump has threatened to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell, but has backed away from that as the end of Powell's term approaches in May. Meanwhile, Cook is due to serve on the Fed board through 2038, but the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 allows removal of a sitting governor for cause. Until now, that power has not been tested by U.S. presidents, who have largely taken a hands-off approach to Fed matters as a way to ensure confidence in U.S. monetary policy. Since returning to office in January, Trump has overseen the departure of hundreds of thousands of civil servants, dismantled several agencies, and withheld billions of dollars of spending authorized by Congress.
Palestinian families fled Gaza City on Tuesday after a night of Israeli shelling on the outskirts. Local health authorities said at least 34 people were killed in Israeli strikes in the enclave overnight and on Tuesday, including 18 people around Gaza City. Shahar al-Masri told Reuters Israeli forces bombed the buildings around her and her family. Then a plane flew over and announced they had 10 minutes to leave. You see, she says, people are leaving without taking anything. She adds, what can we do? The Israeli military has said its forces are operating in the area to locate weapons and destroy tunnels used by militants. Israel is now preparing to launch a new offensive in Gaza City, targeting what it describes as Hamas's last bastion.
Three skulls kept in a Paris museum since the late 19th century were returned to Madagascar on Tuesday in a ceremony at France's Ministry of Culture. The skulls belong to members of the Sakalava ethnic group, including one presumed to belong to then-ruler King Tawera. Madagascar's Minister of Communication and Culture, Valamaranti Danamera, hailed the return.
They are not a mere collector's item. They are the invisible and indelible ink, Madame Minister, that unites our present to our past. Their absence has been, for more than a century, 128 years, an open wound in the hearts of the Big Island, and particularly of the Sakalava community of Menabe.
De la Grande Île, et particulièrement de la communauté Sakalave de Menabe.
Mera said the Malagasy government plans to honor the remains in a tribute coinciding with the anniversary of King Tawera's execution in late August 1897 during France's colonization of the island. The event represents the first application of a new law aimed at expediting the restitution of human remains held in French collections.
I once again issue a strong appeal, both to the parties involved and to the international community, so that an end may be put to the conflict in the Holy Land, which has caused so much terror, destruction, and death. I implore that all hostages be freed, that a permanent ceasefire be reached, that the safe entry of humanitarian aid be facilitated, and that international humanitarian law be fully respected. In particular, the obligation to protect civilians and the prohibitions on collective punishment, indiscriminate use of force, and forced displacement of the population.
3, 2, 1.
SpaceX's giant Starship finally saw success Tuesday after a string of failures. The 10th test flight of the rocket system saw deployment of a batch of mock Starlink satellites. That was a key demonstration for a rocket that is essential to the firm's future plans for commercial launches. The flight also saw Starship test new heat shield tiles that protect it as it plunges back into the Earth's atmosphere. That is critical, as the ship is supposed to be able to fly again with little or no refurbishment. SpaceX boss Elon Musk had said Monday that developing an effective shield was probably the biggest remaining challenge. Now much is riding on the system's success, besides commercial applications. NASA has chosen it to put astronauts on the moon for the first time since the Apollo program, and it's central to Musk's dream of putting people on Mars for the first time. The test flight concluded with a planned splashdown in ocean waters west of Australia. The ship then exploded in a giant fireball, an expected demise probably triggered by its flight termination system. Now a raft of challenges remain, besides proving the heat shields. That includes demonstrating the ability to refuel the Starship in space. It will also have to show it can stick a safe landing on the moon's rugged terrain. But after a series of previous test failures, SpaceX will be happy to notch a success.
From why Elon Musk says Apple is being mean to Grok, to how bots reinvented the Wizard of Oz. This is AI Weekly. Elon Musk's xAI is suing Apple and OpenAI, claiming they conspired to thwart competition. He says they gave prominence to ChatGPT in Apple's App Store, while limiting the profile of his competing chatbot, Grok. OpenAI said the case was just another example of what it called Musk's, quote, pattern of harassment. Meta is set to back political candidates who back lighter regulation of AI. The Facebook parent says it will set up a California-focused political action committee to back state-level candidates from either party. It plans to spend tens of millions of dollars on the effort, potentially putting it among the state's top political spenders, ahead of a 2026 governor race. DeepSeek has unveiled an upgraded model that it says can be optimized to work with Chinese chips. That may signal its position to work with the country's own semiconductor makers, as Beijing pushes to reduce its reliance on US tech. Earlier this year, DeepSeek shook the sector when it released an AI model able to compete with the likes of ChatGPT, but developed at much lower cost. AI has reimagined The Wizard of Oz. The famous film will be shown in Las Vegas on a towering spherical screen that surrounds viewers. AI tools preserve the original performances but also add new elements. Ben Grossman is the boss of visual effects firm Magnopus.
We need to drastically increase the resolution and detail of the original movie. We need to complete the missing parts of the people who were cut off. And then we need to create the continuity of the scene so that the performances that you know are there are actually there.
And Google focused on AI when unveiling its latest Pixel phones. That includes a coach in the camera app that can help users take better pictures. There's also an AI assistant that can display useful information before it's even asked, such as showing a flight confirmation email when the user calls an airline.